Yeah, it's been a hot minute. It felt like that was going to be the big flavor. Oh, man, mid-coddle, you can play at support as well. Both are, like, equally good. And then both of these teams are just like, nah, not about that coddle thing. But PSG.LGD, I feel like they pick the coddle here because I'm looking at this draft. This is a totally different set of pace here, Kyle. From game 2 to game 3, it's an aggressive lineup, and I think they wanted a support that would be able to shove waves for them so they could keep being aggressive.
Yeah, definitely. I got so quick question. I don't think this has been changed, but TB Reflection still grants himself the auras of those heroes reflected, right?
30 seconds.
I think so.
Like, unless that's been changed and I've just completely missed it, I really question. I understand Faith Beyond's a big fan of this Venge offlane, but I don't like playing Venge into Terrorblade, Cap. Like, you just hand him damage.
Yeah, you kind of do. I will say I played this matchup back when I was trying to make Core. Let me just say, I can't wait to ruin some games later on today with Core Vengeful Spirit. I'm going to be playing it again. I really wanted it to work, and Faith Beyond has shown at least once that it can be amazing. We'll see if he can do it again. But the only upside of this matchup is the fact that your Shard actually steals a crap ton of damage because TB is such a high base damage hero.
Okay.
So if you do get the shard, but I don't think that's really a factor. You're mostly physical damage, right? Against a hero that has incredibly high amount of armor. The only thing I could see is that they think that the swap is going to be effective at being able to pull Terrorblade into a position they can burst him down. But other than that, it feels like something that is more predicated on their own draft, right? I think they maybe just really like this Venge Clinks combo.
Yeah, no, that certainly could be the case. It is an insane amount of damage. Especially now that it's Ame on the Clinks instead of Zhao 8, I think it'll be more like a traditional carry. And I think of this Clinks nowadays as a hero like Gyro, like Medusa. You know, it's a hard carry that can farm incredibly fast, and in a lot of ways is like spread damage, not single target.
Cute little interaction between Y and Save, as Save is trying to get back into lane. Now the battery assault is on cooldown. He can do so. I think one lane to watch in this is obviously the mid lane, right? GPK, he dumpstered the ever-living hell out of Zhao 8 with the Batrider versus Clinks matchup, thanks to that fast bottle that Purge did a great job being able to showcase why he was able to get such a bigger advantage than Toronto Tokyo did. But this matchup is also very difficult for Pango as they managed to get a kill in bottom lane. Wasn't expecting that one, but I guess meta well-timed to get a kill onto Faith Beyond. Faith Beyond's laning phases and their trajectory seems to continue to go downward, Kyle. You cannot have a good lane.
Well, that's what's so wild to me, Cap, because Venge, look at the CS. You know, this was not even with meta to start the laning phase, right? Just doesn't feel very good. And I just look at this lineup and think, like, I just don't want to play Venge, Cap. I want like a real offlaner. I want something that can help deal with this Terrorblade. And Venge arguably just makes him better. I wouldn't even be surprised to see Ame skip the evasion talent at level 10 for the +2 seconds on reflection.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Y in pretty deep here as he got speared backwards and Save not quite close enough to land that last LSA. So Y will be able to pop the healing salve, which he's got 2 of apparently. So he is well prepared to be tanking damage. And that is something you kind of have to do, right? As a 5 melee against a kill combo of Lina Mars, you just got to be in their face and accept the fact that you might die sometimes, but anything to make sure the pressure is not on Clinks.
Yeah, and speaking of pressure, ooh, gotta juke the spear. He will.
He should have been speared, but a lucky battery assault stopped the initial spear that DM was definitely going to pin him with.
That's the problem with Clock, is that you kind of have to run in, right? You got to be in melee range to be dealing damage, but as assault starts to fade, or you just want to get out of there, you know, they turn around and hit you. They Lina stun you, and you're 2 armor when you're outside of tower range. It's just not ideal. Bottom lane,
Faith Beyond again being pushed back. I think what they did last time, Faith Beyond also had a terrible laning phase. They just said, okay, Jin Q, I think you're playing Earthshaker. You're going to become a 3 position. And I feel like the same thing's going to happen here, Kyle.
Oh, yeah. That just, you have lane shove, Avenge does not. And end of the day, you will not outlast it or out-harass a Terrorblade with 10 base armor at 3.5 minutes into the game top lane. Why?
There's the spear. Why? If he had gotten DM inside of the cogs, they probably would have traded kills there, but instead both of them managed to limp away. But why this time around is burned through the last bit of his regen. He's got another healing salve coming in, but you could see he's going to continue. Is he bottom net worth? Yeah, he most certainly is, because he's spending so much on regen, again, because he has to constantly be in front of Ame.
This is not a fun lane to play for this PSG.LGD lineup. And VP definitely way more in their comfort zone. I feel like, end of the day, this team needs to be able to take the initiative. And the first game, it felt a lot harder for them to do that. DM playing a Tidehunter, it's one of his specialties, but I think against this team, they need something that can be more up-tempo, lower CD in terms of your initiation potential. They do finally land the kill on Y. Could not salve through that. And save on Lina. He plays this hero obsessively in pubs. Like, this is his hero that he spams. And he's certainly putting in work.
Beyond in some trouble at the bottom lane while Ame is being chased down in the side lanes. It seems like LGD's woes in the laning phase will continue and go on and on and on. And once again, it's going to be a question of whether or not they can make that recovery, as both the cores do die in the side lanes. And then you check in with Xiaowei, and it's not going that much better for him. He is at least keeping somewhat in pace with Viper. He's just 300, 400 net worth behind.
It's certainly better than the previous game, though. And I think he is a lot more comfortable on Pango. I know he's won games on Clinks, but I think for his team, they prefer him on this, more space-making playmaker than on Clinks. Like, give Ame Clinks. I like this move. The body block?
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many pubs you practice this Clinks, this Faith Beyond does manage to get the kill on Kingslayer. It doesn't matter how many times you played it in pubs, it's your team, as you said, really wants you to be on a space creator, because that is honestly when LGD has looked best with Xiaowei. And Save is going to be caught by the cogs, and the Burning Barrage is just not quite good enough. This combo was supposed to be able to net them a kill there. Unfortunately, damage just a bit shy, probably in part just due to the fact that Save has so much more net worth than Y.
You're going to go back in on bottom. Faith Beyond's in some trouble. I think that blast is going to miss.
Yeah, it is going to miss. And Faith Beyond, with no regen on him, is just going to keep at it, though, because Xiaowei has rotated in. Going to give him a couple of bottle hits with Save. Does manage to get that kill on Y. A very important kill, though, right here. This move from Xiaowei, all important. And unfortunately, not going to net anything.
They had a really nice lane ward cap, and they saw that coming. And immediately, I love this TP from Nightfall. Goes straight mid to help GPK push tower.
Ooh, Ame, is he actually going to get the double? A spear is going to be able to save DM's life, but what a big kill. Being able to kill Save, get the killing spree for him, that is a big boost in experience. He's almost level 7 now after that.
And now with Xiaowei.
He's getting juked around a little bit here. He's going to have to Rolling Thunder out of here. Kingslayer is going to be rewarded with saving the tower from the Siege Wagon push.
Yeah, but this is just all good for VP. Yeah, the net worth isn't like a huge difference, but it's where it's located that's important. Terrorblade top, GPK just behind. And see if bots finished on the Viper? Indeed he does. No. I take that back. He's rushing Atos. Okay. I don't see this very often on the mid-Vipers anymore. Perhaps just for catching Clinks. Yeah. It's nice against the Pango, and it's set up for your Lina and your Mars. Makes sense.
Yeah. LGD, they try and get aggressive in the bottom lane, trying to kill Save, and they do manage to get that kill, but it nets them, Virtus.pro, at least one kill in return. The damage isn't going to be quite fast enough to get the other one, though. So just a 1-for-1 trade-off. But yeah, whether it's the Terrorblade free farming or the Viper or both, it seems like they're going to continue to have cores that are well ahead of the rest. This is... Round of Atos, I agree with you. It's an interesting idea because we see so many bots from the mid Vipers. Maybe if it was an offlane Viper, you'd expect Round of Atos. Does that say something about Virtus.pro's mindset for this game?
I think it does. They're going to look to be battling more often, probably take a more aggressive posturing in the PSG.LGD Forest.
Right.
And it just always spooks me a little bit because it doesn't really help the Viper farm, right? And the BOTs,
Yep.
you know, the one downside of the hero is you just feel so slow in what is now an incredibly fast-paced patch. So you have to be finding kills, and it's very easy to also find yourself out of position, trying to shove lanes and get caught lingering. And the BOTs just make it a lot easier to stay on map at all times and not hurt your net worth acceleration. But we'll see. I mean, he looks to get involved, right? Just come right top. You've got Arena. No clinks in the area, but maybe you find a support.
And failing that, at least your presence will help you push the tier 1 tower, and he's not going to fall too far behind in net worth since he's able to very efficiently farm up the hard camp. Why? He's going to show himself. GPK pops out in range of the Viper Strike, and that will definitely be a kill as the Cogs, if anything, just sets up Y for a faster death. 8-3 now to the favor of Virtus.pro as they look to take this tower at the same time as Kingslayer continues to definitely dodge in this bottom lane. He's got himself level 6, so he's going to probably need to use it here in order to get out. Nice Curse does actually catch the Keeper of the Light inside of it. Sadly, though, Faith Beyond. It's a third hero added to the mix. Kingslayer did a good job, though, right? He got level 6. He defended this tower and will probably keep it alive a little bit longer. It means they'll get a tower advantage at least. You know, like I feel like he did his job.
Yeah. I can see the only thing missing right now is that PSG.LGD, they only have that single Ancient stack.
Not quite good enough. Save, really good positioning, but a Death-Pacted Clinks is really hard to burst down. Faith Beyond, a lot easier. Yeah, way easier.
I love save on this Lina, man. This has been a really nice performance so far. Obviously, just kind of owned last game. Some big solo kills on Ame. Looks like Y is once again gonna go down. I mean, what can you do, right? You're a Clockwork. You're level 4. That is your job.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, he's just not going to be nearly as good at it as a Winter Wyvern, you know? Winter Wyvern's just so much better at being able to play the trees. Splinter Blast is a better nuke to be able to kill the creep waves, so he's going to stay out of range of that hook shot for quite some time at this rate.
Yeah, I will say, though, it is impressive to me, you know. Nightfall is 5-0. And Ame just 1-1, but he's kept up in net worth, even with a tower disadvantage. This new Clinks, man, I'm telling you, it's just kind of OP. I'm just gonna say it, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes on later in the game.
Swap back into the Cogs, nice combo. That was very nicely done with Jin-Q adding in with the Solar Bind. That is going to be very cute. That is going to be some powerful combo. Because last time we saw like the swap back with the Earthshaker being able to Fisher. Oh, Rod of Atos, it's revealed. Ame not expecting that is going to die to it.
Yeah, well, there you go. Atos almost paying for itself. Bots be damned. Just play with your Lina. Act as this easy setup stun. A really nice combo too, of course, because the Viper poison attack reduces the magic resistance so significantly. And then Lina pops over. Didn't even need the Laguna and still finds the kill.
Now got his level 6 after that kill, and he'll use it to show up against GPK. The Winner's Curse actually stopping the roll-in that they were looking to get the kill onto GPK. Zhao Weid's going to chase after him, but the Rolling Thunder, it's going to run out. So they're going to have to go for save instead. GPK thinking about returning fire, and he can. Mars is coming. He can bait them in a little bit more, and then all of a sudden DM shows up, hits the arena, hits the spear, the swap back. It still actually pins Zhao Weid outside of the spear, outside of the walls, rather, but instead they're going to get Faith Beyond.
It was really nice. So that curse was sick in that they end up finishing that kill on the clock, but because he was there initially, it gives you the full duration on the curse. So Pangolier locked down for almost half of his ultimate, and then unable to find anything other than the Lina. They'll trade 1 for 1 at the end of that fight. We're going to see this one more time.
Yeah, you're saying that you love save on this Lina. I have to say, I'm very impressed now. Kingslayer, we talked about last game how you had so many targets for the Winner's Curse. And the fact that he has consistently managed to Winner's Curse the Rolling Thunder, but also catch somebody else in it is like, you know, that is ideal. If you could do that every single team fight, that's perfect.
Yep. And you really don't have much left. Like, consider this is a mid Pangolier. I think a lot of the innovation that Tundra's demonstrated with placing it as Fadas here on the 5 is that you you know, when you trade Curse for the mid Pango's ult, that feels worth. That's value. You know, you're winning this fight. When it's the 5 position, it's like just a mild distraction. You're fine if that's the choice of your enemies.
Especially an under-leveled Pango. As a core, if he's under-leveled, he is just a Rolling Thunder, right? Whereas if he actually had farm, if you'd won his lane, for example, then you'd be afraid of the swashbuckle damage. Top lane, they're going to go for Jin Q here. As Nightfall was slowed down a little bit, so he's going to be able to pop his wand and has the Sunder just in case. Faith Beyond's going to go for the swap back, saving Jin Q's life and being in an offensive position to kill Kingslayer. Ame is going to continue to hunt, but Nightfall is already TP'd away.
Yep, nice job. Nightfall's played a pretty solid game. You know, right place, right time.
Yep.
Conservative, no deaths yet. But it's wild. Ame still keeping pace. We'll see how this goes. Will he be rushing the Scotty? We'll see. Maelstrom into the Dragon Lance, thinking about his next item. Scotty not as effective in this game. Obviously, you're not going to be kiting either Viper or Terrorblade. At the same time, maybe you go for like MKB. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. GPK now going back for the bots. Okay, so minding his progression. Does make him a bit squishy, however, one of BKB for a while and is quite susceptible to any sort of hook-in blast combo from PSG.LGD.
It's like BKB is going to be choice from Ame, so he's going to be trying to be a little bit more safe. And at the same time, that means he can be more aggressive against a Terrorblade, right? Preventing that Sunder. And though he is going to need some damage, right? I'm assuming Daedalus. I agree with you, Scotty's not quite as effective. I think you just need as much raw damage as possible.
Yep. And I like this. He's got the Dagon. You don't see this as often on the support coddles.
Yep. And they need that magic damage burst, especially to be able to kill Nightfall, which they do get. Beautifully done. They do have the arena coming out from DM. That's going to be able to get the kill on Y, unless Faith Beyond is willing to exchange his life for support. It seems like that is going to be the case, but they can still fight on. Ame's going to be caught inside the Winter's Curse. Doesn't last long, though. No heroes around. He does get pinned to the wall. GPK is here to be able to finish him off, and he's got him. Rolling Thunder on in to be able to clip Kingslayer. Catches save on his way out as Xiao Weight's going to roll away. Y. Again, another death there for LGD. 4 going down in that fight.
That is, and if I were to do a breakdown, that is save a buddy syndrome. The only cure for PSG.LGD would have been to walk away. You leave your clockwork. It's the 5 position. You've gotten the enemy carry. Just leave. Walk away. This is perfect. Exactly what you wanted. You blow up the enemy carry, the dream. You get the arena. They can just walk away. Everybody's going to be just fine. No threats, no worries, and instead Faith Beyond swaps himself into the arena, and now everybody is, you're thinking you can get a good fight off. Great ultimate from Kingslayer. If he doesn't ult there, he dies, and then suddenly Ame is in a great position. Instead, set up, Nether Toxin, here comes GPK, a nice stun from Save, finishes him off, and Xiao Wei a little late with the Rolling Thunder, but end of the day, maybe just walk away there. That was really a 4 for 1, because Terrorblade doesn't count. He'd already been dead.
Yeah. No, I think you ask Faith Beyond his greatest weakness, he's going to be probably saying, I'm too selfless, and he'd probably be right. He just needed to be protecting his own net worth a little bit more, especially as a Vengeful Spirit. I made a big deal of this last cast with Syndrome, but it's like, this hero as a core feels great once you get Aghanim Scepter, but until you get that Ags, it feels kind of shit.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the way it is. It's like you were just a walking support. So I want to see him protect his own life a little bit more until he has that Ags, in which case be as crazy as you want. You know, you've got the spirit.
Yep, agreed. And it's also because it's just such a huge difference, right? The stats aren't important. It's the fact that you get to respawn, your spells reset, and you're just another Venge. Like, it makes the hero. So definitely agree. And it's tough as well, 4th place on his own team's net worth chart, but that's the product of having one of the world's best coddles, taking all your farming his Dagon. It's funny because, PSG.LGD, obviously, professionals, they've thought all this through, and it's excellent to watch them play, but oftentimes, not going to call out the Spirit Breaker mid, but if you saw, like, some random guy in your pub do this, you would flame him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I already got flamed for trying Spirit Breaker core, And I said, well, Xiao Wei did it, and they said, you're not Xiao Wei. And I was like, you're right.
I can hear, like, the Venge offlane, I'm going to rush Aghanims, like, I'm buying Dagon on Coddle. This is just wild stuff from PSG.LGD.
I'm going to say all of that. Zhao 8. Holding, and the initiation, the hook shot. Followed up, Rolling Thunder. The Winter's Curse going to be too late. Zhao 8 is already causing some chaos in the back lines as they're going to be able to finish off Save pretty easily. From the low ground, Virtus.pro trying to return fire, but now they stuck around perhaps a bit too long. Faith Beyond swapping Nightfall into an awkward position here, keeping him away from the rest of his team. He's going to have to Sunder, using it on Faith Beyond, who still wants to fight. He's got the Aghanim Scepter. He wants Virtus.pro to fight into him. They will not oblige.
It's just such a good Scepter, too, because you don't get anything from killing the illusion. So once Venge dies, you're not really that interested, and chances are you're still dealing with enemies still in the living world. But if he respawns, you come back to the illusion. That's the best part about the Scepter. It's actually just so good. I want to play it.
Everyone does, because like the worst part about Dota is doing nothing because you're dead. And Venge doesn't have that problem. You just get to keep playing Dota almost no matter what.
It's perfect. It's like the perfect game, honestly. Dota's. I've tried other games. Nothing else really keeps your attention, right? But sometimes the death, like you tab out. Maybe you go make a sandwich.
Yeah,
it's rough. Venge, no.
You get one
problem.
of those Zhao 8 diebacks. You know, spend a minute away. Kingslayer's very, very dead. Virtus.pro, they don't have a problem with save a friend syndrome.
No.
They say see you later to their supports any chance they can get.
Yeah, well, with no meta, it's just not a fight you're going to be looking to take. So it's pretty cool how this game is broken down. You can even see it in the net worth distribution. It's Ame, the carry, and then you've got these three sort of semi-supports backing you up. It's like this 1-3-1 formation. Virtus.pro, you have two big cores. Your Mars is your primary initiator, and then two supports in the backline. So, of course, more of like a 2-1-2. It'll be interesting to see if any of the managers make an adjustment at halftime. But for now, if you're PSG.LGD, it's just protect Ame. And Zhao 8, now with the early Blink Dagger, you could see. If he's not Winner's Cursed, he's just going to go right for the backline, find the Wyvern, find the Lina, and wreak some havoc.
And damn Death Pact, man. It just gives you too much HP. You can see DM and Save were set up. They could have gone for the Blink Arena, but even if they do manage to land it before the BKB, they don't have enough first damage to kill this Clinks. He's got 2,300 HP when his Death Pact is up, so.
And you notice this from Ame, not all players get this shard so early, but yeah, hover that over. I think that's worth it. You know, a guaranteed 1,000 health, 120 damage. Like, I think that's the real value of the shard. Like, you don't have to worry about Death Pact, and it's just easier to play the game, I think, if you can save all that excess brain power from planning out, like, oh, which hard camp am I going to play around? Like, what's my timing going to be like? Plus, it's pretty close to the max you're going to get from any creep in the jungle.
Kyle, can I sell you on somebody else buying Helm of the Overlord for Clinks? Can I sell you on that? Are you going to be buying that? It's 1,800 HP and 206 damage when you've got level 3 Death Pact.
That's pretty good. I could see it.
It's a 45-second cooldown on Helm of the Overlord too, and a 60-second cooldown on Death Pact as well.
Yeah, but to be fair, that is like a 6,400 item that you're then just letting your Clinks eat.
Yeah,
but I can see it.
You could do it twice. It's a 45-second cooldown, so you could just be like, all right, set up, eat the creep. I've got Helm of the Overlord off cooldown. I'm gonna grab another one.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, you like send a wolf creep to him. He farms with it, then he eats it. You grab another creep and run to fight. It could work.
I'm just saying, late game, Jin Q should get one. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, like this man's gonna have a ton of net worth because he's basically a 3 position. He's almost has an Aghanim Scepter already. So we're gonna see that Ignis Fatuous in play.
You know, you've got a crazy idea when JJ's confused. He's like, wait, who? Wait, oh, the Coddle? I don't know about that one, Cap.
DM. Oh, he gets out of the arena. The last shots of the shard were not good enough, but the Cold Embrace keeps him in place long enough for Zhao 8 to catch up. Maybe not quite what Kingslayer had in mind there.
And he's going back for a late earn on Zhao 8. Now to go Vessel, I think just primarily to deal with the Cold Embrace from the Wyvern. Really cool. I feel like the second game, a bit of a stomp, but game 1 and game 3 have been masterclasses. Just so much fun to watch. it really feels like anybody's game. It's just going to come down to execution within these fights. And Ame, dude, he is so far. I don't understand. He's huge.
It's Burning Barrage, baby. When you get a Maelstrom, it's up every 16 seconds. So you think about that. That's killing 2 creep waves. The creep waves spawn every 30 seconds. You can kill 2 out of 3 of them. You know, especially with the way you move around Skeleton Walk. That just leaves you another 30 seconds to farm Ancients like he just did. He just cleared a 2-stack like that.
Yep. And typically you'd think TB would be ideal. Like that's a 2k gold advantage in terms of lane creeps farm. But I think to your point, a lot of that is, you know, when Skeleton walked, that's a hasted Clinks. TB typically is seen as one of the faster farmers with even Sanjin Yasha. He's at 396. So a pretty significant advantage for Clinks just to move around the map. And I think a big part of why the hero is just so strong. Yes.
And that's the impact move of the game.
What a
production.
how
I love
balanced.
you guys. Looking for the swamp, looking for the dust. Out of range of both of them. Meanwhile, DM getting hampered by Ame, who still wants the kill. Crazy enough, is trying to get behind the tier 2 to get it, but
this is the danger of Clinks, right? He's cutting 2 ways. He's playing by himself and pressuring 2 lanes. Like in enemy territory at that. And now he's hitting a tier 3 as the rest of his team postures around Roche.
They're going to smoke. This is perfect. They forced a rotation. And it's a good one, too. They managed to force the Viper. He won't have TP for another 25. So they're going to start getting aggressive. They throw the ward on the high ground. Faith Beyond looking for the swamp. Wants something out of this, and they're only going to get Kingslayer. He is going to actually throw out the Winter's Curse, but Venge is going to be fine with this. In fact, DM committing into this team fight, but Ame's in the perfect position to Burning Barrage through the arena and get the kill. Now the Ignis Fachus pulling in Nightfall, but he turns around, goes for Xiao Wei, turns in, rolls up, tries to do what he can. Shield Crash survives a bit longer, but ultimately, because of the buybacks on Virtus.pro, LGD are going to back away.
Yeah, well, that was 3 buybacks. Oh my, I'm like, damn, that went a lot better for VP than I figured, but that's the case when you spend so much gold. But it's the right move because now you can trade those buys into a potential Aegis, and what do you know? Another DD, the most impactful rune so far this series.
It certainly has, and it's perfectly timed too as Meta's about to wear. Oh, he got the kill on Save. A pushback spear in from DM. Ame has a BKB though. He needs actually a Sunny. He doesn't have it. Swap back in. Ame still trying to get Save. The damage reduction is enough to keep him alive. Ultra kill for Ame and a rampage, baby. LGD, you thought they couldn't contest that, Roshan, but now it's diebacks on 3 members of Virtus.pro and a free Aegis for Ame.
And that, once again, it's the BKB discipline. He still has it available because in that earlier engagement, he positioned and played in such a way he did not need to use it. A lot more inexperienced players would have just, you know, to ensure their escape, popped it, but now you can still contest. This is all Faith Beyond, though, as well, to be fair. He's still in illusion form on the edges of the fight, and you see him come in, getting spells, providing aura to his Clinks, the defensive swap there, and then he's going to respawn and come right back into the fight. So cool. And I really, the damage amp, you know? The swap then off cooldown to save the Rampage. And yeah, Nightfall not feeling himself after that one. And the coach even turning away. He can't watch. It hurts to lose 5 in Roche like that. An 11k gold lead. Oh my god. Out of nowhere.
Yeah, they were supposed to be like they weren't feeling it, right? You were saying it themselves. They bought back in order to get this Roshan. They get Aegis. They're going to get BKB shortly after on Nightfall. The Terrorblade is going to be the biggest carry in this game. But it feels like they just hit a serious wall where now 12,000 net worth lead on LGD. It doesn't matter if you've got the harder carry on Terrorblade. It doesn't matter if he's got all that armor when the Clinks just hit so hard. He's got Scotty now. Next thing you know, he's going to go Gleipnir, maybe Daedalus after that. Ignis Fatuous, barely off the mark to be able to pull Nightfall to the other side of that cogs. But Ame, he finds Kingslayer on his way out to try and save his Terrorblade, not knowing that he was the one in danger. GPK does manage to kill Faith Beyond, but it doesn't matter. Remember, that's illusion that swaps you back into death and now positions him into the back line. Stuns up Save while Ame delivers the damage to be able to push back the rest of Virtus.pro.
Yeah, they've got to stop killing Faith Beyond, honestly. Like, you're playing into his hands. He accepts death, and then, like, he's still there, but with cooldowns reset. So it's actually a detriment to your team fighting ability to kill the Venge.
You know, I always said when I did play this, I said, once I get my Aghanim Scepter, I'm the strongest team fight hero in the game. Because there's no hero that can frontline like Venge can and be advantageous, right? Like Abaddon, he frontlines and it's like, oh, we don't lose anything because I've got borrowed time, right? But Venge, as you said, it's an active advantage to die. As he tries to go for the swap, looks like a Force Staff may put him out of reach there. Either way, it's going to keep Virtus.pro scared and hiding.
And hey, I'm back.
Oh, they spot him. Rocket Flare. It hits DM. Ignis Fatuous right there, and DM's not getting away. He thought he could just, you know, take one of those side lanes, take a creep wave, hide in the trees. LGD, they know they've got nobody else to hunt at this point in time. All the other four were stuck inside the base, and as soon as they poke their heads out, they're going to get them chopped off. As Kingslayer, he tries to go out there, maybe trying to get some vision, maybe trying to get their Terrorblade into a position to farm. Almost dies for it. Glimmer Cape does keep him alive, though.
Yeah, and you can also see, as always, the influence of PSG.LGD and their emphasis on vision advantage. Those 2 wards they have placed to the top side of the map, just covering both the lanes. So anytime you leave base, like Nightfall just did, well, there they are.
Jeez, look at that. He had to pop his BKB because he was about to get swapped. He's looking for a Sunder. Faith Beyond. He baits it out with a Manta. He had to Sunder the illusion to keep himself healthy there. As, damn, Shin-Q, right as I was talking about that, an E-Blade now for the level 20 Coddle. Mamma mia.
He is so farmed.
Oh, and save. He gets spotted by 2. LGD is everywhere right now. Virtus.pro, they just cannot catch a break as the battery assault's going to be there. Save's not getting out. Don't even try. Don't even try leaving your base. That's what LGD is saying, because we seem to be able to read you like a book. Everywhere that you're trying to move, we are already there.
I mean, a big part of that, like Klink's Coddle are just eating creep waves. Like, you have nowhere to play if you're Virtus.pro. You are stuck in your base, just killing waves. And meanwhile, there's a clock off
Aghanim Scepter, by the way. Look at this guy. Thanks to Chakra, he's able to skeleton walk multiple times, and he just forms his own Burning Army.
That's a really good point. It's like, it's better than Burning Army at that.
Yeah.
There it is.
The march forward, Virtus.pro. Without save, they seem a bit skittish to take a fight, but the fight's going to happen anyway. GPK, he's going to be swapped back in. Faith Beyond's in deep. Y in even deeper underneath the tier 4s, but they're both able to get out pretty easily as GPK is not going to be able to keep himself alive. The Cold Embrace is not good enough. DM throws out the spear and keeps Ame out of this fight for now. But Nightfall, he's having a hard time finding a target. He's got the Sunder ready to go. As soon as he kills this Venge, he's going to turn around and Sunder his own teammates back to the base, back to the fountain, but he can't get out. He's going to get swapped back in, and he doesn't have a Sunder this time around. This time around, he's going to be bursted. The Winter's Curse was nice, but ultimately, without their carry, how can they hold on here? Save's going to TP in aggressively, see if they can actually kill Ame without the Terrorblade. They see it's a foolish try as DM swapped out of the Burning Barrage, but it doesn't matter. It's into the Ignis Fatuous as both him and GPK are lured into their deaths by that floating light, straight into the clutches of Ame. 1 lane of barracks down, 2 lanes, and possibly the GG going to be forced out of Virtus.pro.
Just unbelievable. I mean, you can see they last pick Venge. Maybe not the greatest matchup, but Faith Beyond is just a beast. Like, they got Aghanims and just won every single fight. Damage output far too high. And I can understand, like, resetting cooldowns, but the fact that you get an extra swap as well when you go to Illusion form is just nuts. Like, he wants to die at a certain point just because of how much stronger it then feels. Like, you just get bonus abilities. Bonus move speed, even.
They're going to get a full-out Megas before Terrorblade is even back up. Daedalus complete, 4,700 HP on Klinks thanks to the 25 talent swap back. Nightfall pops his BKB instantly. It's such a good way to be able to force, because you've also got the damage reduction as well. So it's not like Faith Beyond dies easy in that first life. He just goes in, it forces out the BKB, doesn't even trade away his first life of 2.
Yeah, it's a great point. And I got to say, PSG.LGD, you're likely headed to the finals. Make Ame your Soul Clinks player. I like the Gleipnir as an item, but not first. The fourth item feels way stronger and just near incredible. It's perfect.
Cute combo attempted there by the Mars and Winter Wyvern. Cold Embrace while Bulwart. Trying to draw the damage away from Ame, but he's going to keep on this damage onto the Ancient to finish out this series, to force Virtus.pro out of this tournament for ESL One Fall. They are going to the grand finals. Beautiful stuff from LGD. God, you'd think that they'd be taking a tournament off. You'd think that with a stand-in, with their coach playing with them, that, you know, like maybe this is the tournament. We don't have to go to the